bassist Larry Junstrom, guitarist Gary Rossington, and drummer Bob Burns.
First was me and Larry. We were trying to do something. I said, Larry, we got to get us a guitar player. He said, oh, no, none. I said, I do. Gary Rossington. So I told Gary about it, and he said, sure, but he didn't have an amplifier. So we walked about 2 miles and got one. That's what we started practicing with. And we named the band Me, You, and Him. The way I met Ronnie, he knocked on my door one morning to say, right before school. I said, I don't want to fight you, man, And he said, no, I ain't here to fight. He says, I'm a singer. I said, you're a singer? He said, yeah. I said, I'll be danged. I said, I got a bass player and I had a guitar player. Why don't let's try to put something together?
As they began to practice, however, this new, as yet unnamed band quickly realized that something was missing from their sound. Enter guitarist Alan Collins.
Alan was playing in a band called the Moths. He was their lead guitar player. We were practicing, we stopped. We said, look, it's just not full enough, The sound's just not full enough. I said, we need another axe. Everybody said, yeah, where? Oh, bingo, Alan Collins. And Gary just about thought about it at the same time. People didn't know Alan like I did. He was a distant friend. I know Alan good, and he was a lot of my classes. So we approached him about it.
They needed another guitar player. Ronnie was of the opinion that he could take two mediocre at best at that time. The truth is, Alan and Gary, neither one, they were both learning from each other. And Ronnie felt like if he could take the two of them and combine that energy and have them feed off of each other, that ultimately he could come up with, at the very least, a very good guitar player. And as it turned out, he knew exactly what he was talking about. As it turned out, you got two very good guitar players.
With the band's lineup in place, after some rehearsing, they made their way onto the Jacksonville live circuit. Although as the majority of the members were still high school students, they were restricted to playing teen clubs and youth centers. Their set list, almost exclusively made up of covers of songs by British invasion acts, this group, eventually named the Noble Five, was the first step in the journey toward Lynyrd Skynyrd.
That band right there, if we jumped on a copy tune, at first it was good and people were very impressed. Then they were saying, damn, that sounds good. And before we quit playing copy tunes, and we played everywhere from the Doors to the Stones to the Beatles, a lot of rock and roll, some blues rock, just on and on forever. Good stuff. All copy tunes, okay? And I'll vow to say this. The band, Ronnie, me, Gary, Alan, and Larry, probably had one of the best copy bands in the world. I mean, we knocked it out. People loved it.
How good were they? Not really good. The Noble Five, when they were the Noble Five, they were playing other people's music and they were trying to put some of the original stuff, trying to come up with something, but they were your average young band, young musicians, They didn't hit every note perfect.
If the Noble Five still had to develop instrumental prowess and musical creativity, one thing it wasn't lacking was a commanding presence out front. From the get-go, Ronnie Van Zant was a striking and very singular lead singer.
I would say the Noble Five was very average, but he knew his limitations, and he was very confident. He had a lot of stage presence, a lot of charisma. In the beginning, I think that's what got him by more than anything. At that time, he had not really come into his own as a singer. He had just recently made up his mind that that's what he wanted to do. Actually, to phrase it like Ronnie did to me, not what he wanted to do, what he had to do. And he took it from there. He had, like I say, he had all the confidence in the world, and he had his plan, his idea about how it was going to all come together, and he stuck to it.